Hey Fae folk, welcome and welcome back to another Dolls I Don't Want video. If you haven't seen this series from me before, it's just where I take a look at dolls that have either come out recently or are going to be coming out in the near future that I don't plan on purchasing or I didn't purchase for one reason or another. Sometimes it's purely a price issue. Sometimes I think a doll is great for other people, but I just don't need to have it in my collection. Sometimes I do in fact think that the dolls coming out and hitting the shelves are sort of ugly and I just need to express that. So this is just my little series where I talk about, yeah, the dolls that I don't want, and I talk about why I don't plan on purchasing them. Of course, this is a very, very subjective and personal list. So if you love all the dolls in today's video, sorry in advance. And also that is completely fine. Just do be nice about it if you want to express that in the comments down below. But without further ado, let's just jump on in. Starting out, we're going to go ahead and just touch very briefly on Bratz Sassy Stampede. I did already make an entire dedicated video for these, and then I also technically made a second dedicated video for them in which I did like a little bit of redesigning. So I'm just going to be really, really, again, brief, but they're dolls that I don't plan on buying, so I kind of have to bring them up in this video. Basically, I do think that a lot of the designs have a good start, I suppose, and could be made really, really nice through a little bit of customization. And I especially like a lot of the base dolls from this line, but I'm just not willing to spend almost $20 on a doll that like I know I'm gonna have to fix up that comes with this really cheap plastic hat. So maybe on sale I'll get some of these, but for now, dolls I don't want. Moving on to Monster High, Shorty here, the Skeletor for Killer Clowns from Outer Space, is the last doll in today's video that I have already talked about. So again, we're going to be brief with this, and then everything else will be fresh and new hot takes. But when it comes to Shorty, I honestly really do think that this is a pretty successful design. I do think, the price is always the problem with Skelectors, regardless of how well they're executed. But I will say that I think that for the theme, this is honestly one of the better executed Skelectors, in my personal opinion, at least within like recent years. I just didn't end up getting Shorty because I haven't seen the film, and while I do like the design, I know there's a lot of things coming up soon that I'm going to be spending my money on. I think that Bratz is planning on releasing some more stuff soon, so like maybe I should have waited to make this video, but whatever. I think Bratz is coming out with some more stuff soon, and I do think that I'm going to want at least some of what they're coming out with. The K-pop Demon Hunter dolls are going to be coming out within like the next month and a half, and then Moonspell is supposed to be coming out pretty soon. So with all of that in mind, Shorty, I like the doll actually, despite not having seen the film. Like I do think that this is just a fun clown doll to have, and if I didn't know that there were a bunch of other things, even like for Monster High, this Pride Pack with Spelden and Valentine, haven't been able to talk about it here because we haven't gotten any stock photos, but like that presumably is coming up pretty soon. So it really is just a timing issue with Shorty. Again, despite not having seen the film, I do think that the design is fun enough and I like clowns enough to where I would want to get this doll. However, I do have to be responsible with my finances, and knowing that there are so many other things coming up that I'm going to want to spend money on, I just could not justify spending money on Shorty. So if by some miracle they keep restocking on Amazon, I don't think they have in a hot second. I haven't been paying that much attention. If by some miracle this doll ever ends up going on sale and like maintains its stock long enough to go on sale, I might pick Shorty up. But otherwise, I'm content to enjoy her from afar. But this is definitely not one where I was like, ew, ugly. This is just, it's timing and money, Moving into G3 territory, we have a Draculaura. I think this is like the potion reveal playset. Probably should have checked that before I opened my mouth, but it's fine. It's a Draculaura playset. This is the one that has been heavily, heavily theorized that it was initially supposed to be in conjunction with Moonspell Magic. And it just isn't being marketed that way now, but because of like the potion thing and like the cauldron and everything, it is very, very similar to what Moonspell is supposed to be coming with. So I do agree that this was probably initially supposed to be connected. Again, the marketing doesn't seem like they're trying to sell it that way anymore. Personally, for me, it's sort of irrelevant. Like, it doesn't matter that much. I don't know, I just wanted to briefly mention it. This one has been so hard. I will say, like, I know people are so sick of seeing Draculaura, and I do understand it. Like, she is a character that is utilized just so frequently that it is becoming a bit tiresome. She also is, like, so frequently cute, though. I can't even lie, Like, am I frustrated that we're getting another Draculaura and another Draculaura and another? Like, yeah, I get it. I also would like to see other characters. but it's hard for me personally to be too mad because I do feel like she just looks so cute almost all the time. So when it comes to the actual doll in this release, taking a look at that first, I do think that this is a nice doll. I will say I don't think that she necessarily stands out an insane amount amongst all of the other Draculaura dolls that exist. She does have really, really, really long hair, it looks like, which is pretty nice, and it is mostly black, which is, you know, a little bit different for Draculaura. I feel like she usually has either more pink or a pretty even mix, so that's cool to see. And I do like her outfit, and I like the hat and everything. It's just, I think that the doll is not, for me personally, unique enough to justify the fact that she comes with this whole ass playset. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do think that the playset is sort of cute, like the open side with like all the art and everything. I genuinely do think that that's pretty cute. I like the fact that it comes with little like potions and magic spells and the cauldron. Like, I think all of that is really, really sweet, and she's got like a place to sit, but it is still just so big. And ultimately, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, wow, I could make a really cute display with this. However, it would take up so much space that for me it's just not worth it. Like, this is too big a playset for me to do it. And especially again, given the fact that it comes with a nice doll, but not like a holy shit, this is such an unbelievably unique and amazing Draculaura. Like, if it was coming with something like that, then I would buy it despite the fact that the playset is really big. But she's cute. She's just not cute enough to justify, you know, taking up that much space in my display, basically. So sorry, Draculaura, but you will not be joining the collection. And then lastly, for Monster High, we have this Claudine, also a playset doll. She comes with like a little like hair care, like hair salon type playset. And this one is honestly driving me up an absolute wall just because I would love to get to add a nice curly haired Claudine to my collection. Like, I have Claudines that have like the hair pretty much how it came. I have Claudines that I have one Claudine that I've rerouted to have like sort of twists. I have Claudines that I've given braids to, but I don't have a Claudine in my collection that has like genuine, nice, fairly tight curls. These definitely could be tighter, but like fairly tight curls. And I really would love to have that. I think that that would be so nice to get to have a Claudine who has like nice natural curls in my collection. But every single time Monster High produces a Claudine that has curly hair that is like something that I would be looking for as a base doll, it's not an outfit or it's not like a playset that I want to have. Like, there was the Hollywood Claudine had curls, and I know everyone loved that lineup, and that's totally fine. I did not fall for it. Like, that, oh god, that sounded way meaner, like fall for it like a scam. That's not what I mean. I didn't like fall in love with that line the same way that everyone else did. So I did think that the Claudine was pretty, and I did like her base doll, but I just wasn't obsessed with her clothes enough to want to spend money on her. There's another budget one coming out, which, like, she is a budget one. I still don't like the outfit, but it is much more justifiable to, you know, buy a base budget doll because it costs less and then change the outfit. However, I have no idea what the distribution is going to be like on those. Sometimes with the G3 Monster High dolls, the budget ones specifically, they've been like a little bit tricky and like a little bit randomly hard to find, at least here in the States. I don't know how they've been elsewhere. And now there's this one, this Claudine, who is pretty. Like, her hair is nice. And I even don't like mind the I, I want to call it a dress. I mean, it is technically a dress, but I know it's supposed to be like a little bit more of a loungewear. I don't even mind that. However, I don't really display many of my dolls in loungewear, and the biggest thing is the playset. Much like Draculaura, like I could get her and I could change her outfit up. I could make this dress look a little bit more like a going out dress as opposed to a lounging dress. Like, those are all true things. However, she comes with the whole playset. So the price tag is going to be higher. And then if I did get her, I'd have to deal with all this extra stuff. And I just don't know that I want to do that. And I'm just begging, selfishly, very selfishly begging Monster High to just give me a Claudine with nice curly hair that also has an outfit that I personally like. I know that's a ridiculous ask. I do feel as though I'm going a little bit insane, that it feels like all of, not my literal least favorite, but I'm just saying that because I'm dramatic. All of my least favorite clothes end up on the base dolls that I want the most, and it's just whatever. So that was a really long-winded way of me saying that I'm not getting this. I would say like 95% because of the playset and about 5% because of the clothing. So like I suppose you could say that if she went on a sale, a good enough sale, I could be persuaded to get this one. But honestly, the thing about dolls going on sale for me is that by the time a doll goes on sale, normally, more things have come out, hence they're putting the old stuff on sale so that they can make room on the shelves. And then I want the new stuff. And so I just end up spending my money on the new stuff and I never get the stuff that goes on sale. So there is a future in which I do get this doll on a sale and like the stars align and I'm not spending my money on something else. But for now, I have to say I'm not going to get it, right? So sorry, Claudine. Maybe one day a curly haired Claudine will be able to enter my collection. Or if not, I'm just going to have to reroute one with like super tight curls at this point because it has to happen one way or another. Next up is a new doll line. This is the mini doll from Zuru, and it is apparently the world's smallest fashion doll. We'll get into that in a second. I do just need to say, like, at the top of discussing this, because I am going to be, spoiler alert, praising these dolls quite heavily. However, I do need to say, again, at the top, just so, like, you understand that all of the praise that is coming comes with the caveat. The box art here that you're seeing is allegedly AI art. I know specifically people have pointed to the headband on the doll on the box, like the chain looking headband. The chain does look a little bit funky. I will admit, like it is a little bit odd. Obviously, almost no company is going to come out and be like, "Hey, this is in fact AI." Like that's not something that I think most companies are doing, is like out and out confirming it. So technically it is still an allegation. I'm just letting y'all know. I've said what I need to say about AI. We don't fuck with that here. So condemning the box art. However, moving on to looking at the dolls. This is the only one that I have a stock photo for right now. So we're just using this as sort of like the representation, but there are a bunch of different designs. I believe that these are supposed to be a blind box. Please correct me if I'm wrong. However, the thing that is really interesting about these, and I am sorry because I can't share any comparison pictures because I've said it before 1,000 times. I do not like using non-stock photos on this channel. I'm just like uber paranoid and I'm not invested in it. Like I just don't want to I don't want to use not stock photos because it's just a lot more of a headache in my personal opinion and I get freaked out about it. So I can't show you any comparison photos, but when they say this is the world's smallest fashion doll, the head, like the face, is like the size of a thumbnail, literally. And the entire doll is like as tall as Barbie's foot to her knee. Like the entire doll comes up to a standard size Barbie's knee. These things are tiny, 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 tiny little dolls. And you can see, if you look at the knees at least here, they have solid articulation. Like these are actually very, very articulated dolls. I don't know. I'm trying to see really quick if I can find if we have a confirmation on how many points of articulation. 14. There are 14 points of articulation. This tiny ass doll has elbow and wrist articulation and knee articulation and ankle articulation. And so to that, like I just, again, obviously with the caveat, the AI box art, if it is in fact AI, allegedly, whatever, protecting my ass, the doll itself, that is unbelievably impressive to me, to have this doll have like this cute little face and all of this articulation and all of these clothing pieces and like the accessories and everything. That is genuinely so cool and so impressive in my mind. And quite frankly, Mattel, I think this should scare the shit out of you because like we don't get this level of quality on Barbie, which is a, like 11-ish inch fashion doll. And they can't manage to do this on Barbie ever. Like the fact that we are getting these dolls that are so teeny tiny. I understand that like since they're small, they require less materials, so they technically would cost like less on raw materials to produce. Whatever. I'm just saying I think it's insane that Zuru is showing up Barbie and it's literally like a third of Barbie size. I think that's insane. And I think that Mattel needs to get their ass in gear if this is like what people are coming out with and what is going to become part of the competition. I just think like seeing this level of detail on a doll this small really, really makes you consider why on earth so many Barbies literally don't even have tops that you can take off, or why on earth so many Barbies are just in these potato sack dresses. Sorry, I don't know why I got really, really heated. like clearly it's possible to do incredible things with dolls. Obviously, we already knew that, but this is just showing it in like a different way to me. And I just am really like, Barbie, if you're gonna be like the doll, maybe get your shit together. Sorry. As for why I'm not getting these, even though I clearly think that they are on some level quite impressive, it's just because I've realized with my personal collection and with my personal preferences, I tend to prefer dolls that have a strong theme. You know, like fantasy themes are great, like formal themes are great for me. And if I have a doll that's wearing sort of more everyday clothing, I do tend to prefer something like Monster High where it is very character focused. That's just like how I am. So I do think that these dolls look really cute, and I do think that their size and everything is really impressive and really fascinating. However, they, as far as I know, don't really have strong character. Like they're sort of just everyday, you know, I mean she has blue hair, but like people exist with blue hair every day. I did it for a while. But they're pretty everyday fashions, pretty just like everyday inspirations. And so I know that they wouldn't fit in my collection and wouldn't make me feel good in my collection. So they're things that I think are unbelievably impressive from a distance. I think this is really cool. I just don't feel the urge to own them. Then we have a line of manga inspired Disney dolls, which are definitely really, really interesting to me. All three of these, we're looking at Ariel first, then Snow White, then Jasmine. All three of these I'm not getting just because I don't collect Disney dolls, but because they're so, I don't know, just like different and unique, I still kind of wanted to give my thoughts on them. I feel like this Ariel is very, very fascinating to me. The way that they have used a ruffle to be her tail, honestly, such a risk in my mind. Like that could go so good or so bad. And I really do think that they have managed to make it work. I think the rest of the design has just like that perfect, like cutesy, like a little bit silly with the printing and everything on the body of her tail. It just fits in well enough to where this polka dotted ruffle that is serving as the fin of her tail is genuinely selling it for me and is genuinely working for me. I think that's really precious. I love that Flounder is her little bag charm. Like, I just love this. I honestly think that this line is super fun. Very similar thoughts on Snow White. She does seem to be sort of the darling of this line. I've seen so many people say that she is their favorite, and I do agree. She looks really, really excellent in this style. I think that both Snow White's personality as a princess, as well as, you know, the Disney specific rendition and like the silhouette of her clothes, I feel like both of those really do already lend themselves to this sort of more cutesy, more sweet, like more ruffly manga style. Like, obviously, I did like the Ariel, and I'm going to be telling you that I like the Jasmine as well, but I think that Snow White perhaps just fits a little bit more naturally into this niche, and so it looks more correct. Not that it looks bad on the other two, but I think just by comparison, I think it looks even more correct on Snow White. So I don't know, that's just like my little pet theory on why she's sort of again like the fan favorite. And then when we move to Jasmine, unfortunately, I have seen most people critiquing her, which I don't know. I guess I just don't see it. Like I think that she looks really, really cute. I like the way that they've done her headpiece, and like her earrings for some reason are just hitting really hard. The lamp as the like bag that she has, and then her tiger with the bag charm, of course. I've seen a lot of people really, really hate the pants and the printing on the pants and saying that they look cheap, but like I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that that fabric looks any cheaper than Ariel's tail or Snow White's skirt. Like maybe with the color, because it's like a darker color, maybe it's reflecting the light a little bit more so it looks shinier, and so that's making people think that it looks cheaper. But I honestly think it looks like the same fabric as the others. I don't know. I feel kind of bad for her because I feel like, again, as opposed to Snow White, not that people are like, ew, Jasmine is ugly, but I definitely feel like I've seen more critique for her than for the other two. And I'm like, I feel like she's really precious. And I also think that it is like nice to get to see, just because historically speaking, it is more common to see pale skin in this type of style. Not that I'm saying like when you look at manga, it is specifically like American or European, but I'm just saying it feels more common to see paler skin tones have this style. And I know even within certain alternative subcultures, I feel like I'm dipping my toes into hot water. But like I know like obviously this is far flung from goth subculture, but I know in goth subculture there is a problem in parts of the community where there's like this upholding of the ideal of goth being like the super pale face with like the super dark drawn on makeup and everything, and like excluding people who have darker skin tones from the subculture because they aren't pale. And I think that that is unbelievably messed up, obviously. And so I do think that some of the same sort of situation can go on in stuff like Lolita fashion. Obviously, not everyone who dresses Lolita or goth or whatever is like that. I'm just saying I know that it is a known problem in certain subcultures, and I do think it is more common to see paler people depicted in this very, very cutesy style. All of that to say, I'm really glad that they did put Jasmine in this line, you know, that they didn't go with just three very, very pale princesses. I think it's really nice to get to see this cutesy style on a girl who has brown skin. I really said all of that. Anyway, yeah, I think this line's cute. I just don't collect Disney dolls. I could have just said that. And then lastly for this video, we have to talk about Rainbow High. They have a whole lot of releases that I have a whole lot of opinions about coming up. However, the only line that we have like stock photos for all of them, and so the only line that we're going to be talking about in today's video is the My Fashion Style Wave 2. And I would like to question, as many other people have, my fashion where? This is perhaps not the best doll to be having on screen as I say that, because she, in my opinion, is certainly and far away the best doll in the line. You're going to see why I'm like fashion wear real soon here, because good God, does it get rough with these dolls. But to start out with this one, Kaya, I will say she is very, very cute. I love her hairstyle. In theory, at least, I know for sure, like right out of the box, her whole head is going to be a rock. Like just looking, the bangs are super gelled, the tendrils are super gelled, and those curls, like her whole head is going to be like a rock. Like she's going to be a weapon. You could hurt someone with the amount of gel that they're going to have to shove into this doll's hair. But I do think that it is a really, really cute style. The dress is like, I don't know, like it's a little bit basic, but it is, at least to me, inoffensive. I will say that because of the fabrics that they've used, I think that the heart might be like a sort of like vinyl-y fabric. And then obviously we have this sort of reflective silver. The whole thing makes it look almost flat. Like it looks almost like an edited on image of the dress as opposed to her actually wearing it. That's not an accusation. I do think she's wearing it. I think it's just an interesting effect because of the particular fabrics that they used. But yeah, she's the best simply by virtue of not being bad, not being like actively ugly in my mind. But even though I like the hairstyle again in theory, and even though I think that the dress is inoffensive, I'm not here for it. Like I don't like it that much. And it also comes on the like very budget body where there's no elbow and no knee articulation. So we're not getting this one. Next up, we have the return of Jewel, which I do think is fun. Like, I appreciate getting to see her character come back. She's not a character I would have predicted to come back, but it's cool to get to see her. Apparently, they did change the face mold. Like, this is a different face mold than her original doll got. I have to be honest with you guys, I can't tell Rainbow High face molds apart, except for like a couple of them where the difference in the eyes is much more dramatic, unless they're like side by side. I don't know. I just am really, really bad at that. So I didn't even notice. But apparently that is a thing, which is weird. Like, why? It's not as though these are dolls that they're revamping from 15 years ago and like perhaps some of the original molds are lost or for whatever reason they can't use them again. Like her original doll came out only a couple years ago. I know MGA still has that mold. Like, it's weird. It's weird, but whatever. I really like her hairstyle. I think that is super, super cute with the braids going back. Absolutely precious. However, what is happening with this outfit? What are we doing? I feel like that sums it up. Like, genuinely. I feel like that sums it up. I just am so baffled by every decision here. I even think, like, I honestly feel as though the bottoms alone could be less bad as, like, a very extravagant swimsuit cover-up, maybe, but the top just doesn't, like, it doesn't fit in with that imagery. I don't know. All of this is just a hot mess. I don't know why all of this is going on. And then the bag is the exact same color as her hair, so, like, it's just gonna blend in, and I don't know. It's just, again, my fashion where. Next up is Stella, who, I mean, I honestly don't think that the bodysuit is really bad at all. I think that if that were incorporated into a fully fledged outfit from Rainbow High, this could be really cute. The shoes, though, are really messing it up. Like, these are the most plasticky plastic boots I feel like you could possibly give a Rainbow High doll. And it's just, especially with them being completely unpainted, it's just really rough, in my opinion. I also don't know that the bodysuit like fits her that well. Like in terms of like a literal physical fit. Stylistically, this is perfect for her, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I feel like it's fitting exactly right. So, not my favorite. Skylar, her dress situation is not my style exactly, but I don't think that it is the worst. Certainly in the line. I just, again, I think the shoes are really not doing her any favors. It's funny because orange and blue are complementary colors, which means that they make each other pop more than any other color, right? Like they're opposites on the color wheel, so they pop really good next to each other. So you would think that the orange shoes would really be working, but they're just not. Like there's a little bit of orange up at the ribbon by her neck. So it's not even as though it's the only place orange is on the outfit. I honestly think a lot of the problem is that her skin tone already has a little bit of like an orange to like yellow sort of pull to it. And so the orange shoes are maybe just blending in with her feet. Like I mean, I guess it depends on how bad your eyesight is. My eyesight is real bad, but when I take off my glasses and look at the screen, I genuinely can't tell that she's even wearing shoes and that those aren't just her feet. And so maybe that's the problem, but I don't know. I have a lot less vitriol towards her than some of the others, but I still don't think this is good. Two more to go because this is a $6 line, which I feel is kind of interesting. I feel like normally we don't get budget lines that have that many dolls in it. I don't know, I'm sort of fascinated, and that's not inherently a negative thing, like, obviously, budget dolls have, like, their time and place. I guess I should have said that at the outset. Like, I know that these are all budget dolls. I'm not upset that they have, like, a budget doll released in general, right? Like, I'm not mad at the existence of budget dolls. I'm mad that these budget dolls are ugly. So like I'm not upset about the existence of them being budget dolls, and it's not even inherently a bad thing that there are 6 of them. I think it's just interesting because again, I'm not really used to a budget doll line. I feel like having more than 4 characters or 4 dolls, and so to have 6, I don't know. I feel like that means something. I don't know what it means. Anyway, though, to look at Violet, the one nice thing that I can say is that the streaks of yellow in her hair, that's kind of fun. Much like the orange and blue that I just talked about, purple and yellow, opposites. So they pop. And I honestly think that that's like a fun addition to her hair. It's kind of interesting. It's definitely different. Her top isn't bad. This skirt is just honestly, I think that all I can do is sigh at this point. Like, all I can do is sigh. We know that even though they keep making Violet, like, I guess maybe she's popular, like, with kids, perhaps, because they keep making her. So there has to be a reason. However, despite the fact that they keep making her, we all know that MGA hates Violet. She is frequently the worst doll in a line, but not in this line, at least for me, because I think there is, in fact, one character that's even worse, and that's Iris. I honestly think that they might hate Iris more than they hate Violet. She's had 3 dolls now, and not a single one of them has had a good outfit. Like, they've all been so rough. One of them was like in the resin line, so that was already not super. The other one had a bad outfit and was also in the like plastic, like you open the legs up and put slime in them line, and now she has this one, and I'm just like, why is it so hard to make her look good for you guys? Like, she's a rainbow themed doll, which I understand. Like, I guess you could say it's like hard to get the balance right and have it not look like too like rainbow throw up everywhere, but the whole brand at this point is pretty much a rainbow throw up everywhere, so you can throw that out the window. She has every color of the rainbow in her hair, so it should be unbelievably easy to just like put together an outfit that looks good because you can literally use any color. And yet this is what they're giving her for my fashion style. They're giving her a very, very poorly fitted sort of corset-ish top and like this odd little wrap around the skirt. I think it looks like that's a separate piece. But the wrap is like giving beachy, but you're not wearing a corset top to the beach. And this bag is a horrible color to go with the predominantly red like outfit. And also she has a couple of different reds. Like the red of her top is a more slightly pinkish, slightly cool tone leaning red, whereas the red on her wrap and on her shoes is much more orangey. Like she's just a hot mess. And I don't understand, it can't be that hard. Like, it just can't be that hard. I don't understand why they seem to hate her and they seem to just be allergic to giving her a good outfit. Even the fact that it's ill-fitting, I think that part is crazy. Like, if you're gonna give her something ugly to put on, at least make sure it fits her body. But those cups on the corset are like, those are not like placed on her boobs, right? They're whatever. So I hate this line. I hate this line a lot. I think that Kaya is the only one who is even mildly redeemable. And I think that in general, this is a bad line. And again, I want to highlight that it's not bad because it's budget. You can make cute budget dolls. It's bad because the fashions are ugly. So there's that. Not a huge fan. So on that really lovely, definitely not over dramatic note, those are all the dolls that I don't plan on buying as of right now. I do feel like I was a little in my feelings this video, a little bit more aggressive in this video than I sometimes am in these. So my apologies once again if you're like a super big fan of all these dolls. I had to get those thoughts out. With Rainbow High specifically, I do just want to say, like, I almost made a video dedicated to these dolls and like the couple other ones that are coming up because I am at my wit's end with Rainbow High. I think we're still going to end up making that video once we get some more stock photos of the lines that I referenced that I couldn't talk about today because I didn't have stock photos. So be on the lookout for that if you want to hear me trash talk Rainbow High even more than I already have in this video. And I do think that we have enough dolls finally for the first time in ages. I think that we have just enough to justify doing the inverse of this video, the dolls that I do want. So that will be hopefully the next upload, so be on the lookout for that as well. But that is going to be it for me for today, guys. Let me know if you agree with my opinions or if you think that I am a dumb dummy. Let me know what your favorite or least favorite or whatever doll of the video is. Just want to know what y'all are thinking about these. But that's going to be it for me for today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.